A WWE superstar has revealed that they have re-signed with the company for multiple years, but here's the catch. This is somebody who has not been used on WWE television. Also, in addition to that, 2 AEW stars are set to become free agents. We now know when their contract is ending. Will AEW sign them or will they be leaving? And if so, where should they go? Also, we got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. NWA, AEW, there's a little bit of drama. It's all coming up right here on TAS. And just as a reminder, if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop with everything happening in professional wrestling. And I think first things first, we got to talk about it. Private Party, what is going on with these guys? A lot of talks, a lot of rumors, a lot of things being said. Private Party is one of those guys. Man, I love this tag team. It's very clear. If you watch my content, you know I have the utmost praise for these guys. However, the Wrestling Observer newsletter has now reported that Private Party is set to have their contracts up very, very soon. And as of right now, AEW has yet to re-sign them. Now, this is obviously a big deal for a variety of reasons. Private Party, OGs of AEW, definitely a fan favorite, and they're in a really tough spot. A lot of people are speculating that they're leaving the company, and quite frankly, I could understand why that would be the case, but nothing is official. Now, if you're asking me, hey, Ango, what do you think they should do? Well, it's kind of tough to answer. Tag team wrestling in 2025 really isn't a massive focus across all of these companies. WWE, TNA, and AEW, yeah, they might be doing stuff with their tag team division, but I don't think it gets the same love and focus that it used to get, especially in WWE. Now, let me just be perfectly clear. I like these guys. If they leave AEW, I want to see them on TV. So I don't really care where that is. WWE, NXT would be a great fit. TNA Impact would be a great fit. And I'm never going to discount AEW here. We've seen what they can do in AEW. And I think they were also a great fit there. This is one of those situations where I like the talent so much that I genuinely believe they will work out wherever they go. However, tag team wrestling has to be the focus. People got to stop making excuses. Yes, WWE SmackDown has been a big improvement with their tag team division. WWE Raw, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be the case. So it's really hard for me to get excited about them going anywhere when tag teams in general right now aren't getting a lot of love. But of course, I'm a big fan of these guys. I would like to see them do well wherever it may be, whether they re-sign with AEW, whether they go to WWE, NXT, TNA, NWA. At this point, I don't really care. I just want to see them. That brings us to our next topic. NWA is pushing back on AEW, and this has everything to do with the fact that the NWA also owns the Shockwave trademark. Now, for those who don't know, NWA Shockwave was a thing that was rumored for AEW. It was rumored that AEW would be launching a show, and that was going to be part of Fox, and obviously that didn't happen yet. Technically could still happen, but AEW hasn't launched it. And what's actually really crazy here is that NWA owns the trademark for NWA Shockwave. Well, now reports have come out that NWA is pushing back on AEW and is asking AEW to not use the Shockwave name. AEW has to respond by July 15th, and as of right now, AEW has yet to do that. Now, we have seen this happen in the past where companies get trademarks and they kind of abandon them. They just kind of forget about them. They don't do anything with them. I do believe at one point AEW Shockwave was a very legitimate thing. I think there was very legitimate plans for it. And I think the minute that we saw that a TV provider was not buying into the rights of this show, then I think AEW has just kind of left it in the background. That's my analysis. That's kind of the way I see things happening. I could totally be wrong, and that is possible. However, with AEW potentially having a show called Shockwave, that is going to be met with a little bit of an issue because of NWA having Shockwave. And NWA does have that trademark. Now, of course, trademarks and all of this stuff is way above my pay grade. I'm not a lawyer. Technically speaking, there's always a possibility if AEW really wanted it, they can work out a deal with NWA. I don't think that's going to be very likely, but I would assume that's very possible. I think it just really matters as to what AEW is trying to do. as of right now, I don't think AEW is trying to do anything. I don't think so. I think we would hear way more about this, and we just haven't. But you never know. It's wrestling. Things happen in wrestling. Sometimes they don't get talked about, and then they are being worked on in the background. I'm only making the assumption based on the fact that there was a period of time where all the talk was about AEW, Shockwave, Fox Sports. And then WWE landed the deal with Tubi, which is owned by Fox. So who knows? I honestly have no idea what to expect here. Now, what I will say is this. NWA, smaller company. AEW, bigger company. Two different budgets. I think it is much better when wrestling companies are working together. So therefore, it would be kind of nice if NWA really, if they want to make a deal happen, it would be nice for the professional wrestling industry to see that happen. But again, I think that ultimately leads to what Tony Khan and AEW are doing. And at this point, I don't think that's really something to worry about. And that brings us to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. Omos has just revealed publicly that he has re-signed with the WWE on a new multi-year contract. This is very interesting for a variety of reasons, but I think the biggest one that me and you are all going to be looking at today is the fact that Omos has not been utilized on WWE programming, which makes me really curious as to what WWE has in their plans here, because Omos not being used, then he goes on a very beautiful run in Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan, which was very interesting, to be honest. He got over in Pro Wrestling Noah. WWE calls him back before the Royal Rumble, and then we don't see him. And so, to me, I'm a little bit confused here, because why would you re-sign a talent if you haven't been using them and you're not using them? And Omos is talking publicly about this. There's things that he's working on and he's training, and they got something in the works apparently with WWE. I like Omos, dude. I don't know what it is about Omos. I understand some people don't like the idea of these giants in professional wrestling, and yeah, they have limited movesets and stuff. But if you ever watch his interviews, or if you ever watch just some of these like the content and the segments that he does, where he just talks about things, like it's not hard, to like this guy. It's pretty easy. And I think when you look at somebody who is like Omos, he is an attraction for sure. How does WWE plan to book him? That's a really big question. I don't know how WWE plans to book him. I don't know what WWE has in terms of their plans. But what I will say is this. I really do like the guy. I want to see this guy on TV. I don't know how you do that without making him completely unbeatable. Just in some capacity, I don't really care how they do it. He could be somebody's bodyguard. I don't care. Just figure it out, man. Figure it out. But he's re-signed with the company for multiple years. He's got things in the works. He's been training. He seems very optimistic about this. We'll see what happens with WWE and Omos. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.